Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to take a look at all things real estate investing with two seasoned pros. That's just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I know in this country when people think about investing, they often think about the stock market. When you watch Fox Business or CNBC, all they're talking about all day long is the stock market. But there are many other ways to make money, and one traditional way to make money is real estate investing. Some of the greatest fortunes on the planet started with real estate. To talk about that today, Michael Hill and Leo Castillo, they are both with EXP. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Pleasure. You bet. I want to start with you, Michael. How long have you guys been in real estate? And you're married. You've been together for 22 years, or married for 22, together for 24.
22 years married.
Yes.
I've been involved in real estate since I was 12 through construction, but we actually didn't get started with doing real estate investing and anything like that until 2004. So we've been in it about 19 years.
And it was Leo's idea.
Oh, of course. Everything good in our marriage has been her concept. So.
All right. So, Leo, you didn't come up through real estate. What made you think, okay, this might be a good plan?
I always studied money. Mm-hmm. To me, it's like play. And so I got involved with stocks. I was day trading. I always liked real estate. And I bought my own 2 times in California, and then when I met Mike and he was in construction, we were actually just riding our bikes in San Jose, and I said, "Hey, let's look at this one," and so we did, and I saw possibilities and potential. I was like, we should buy this because it was an old house.
Sure. And a lot of people watch these shows, $1 Million Listing, and they think they can just get rich real quick. But you actually have to learn from seasoned pros like you guys. So your first deal was not a fabulous success, right?
Correct. Yeah. We made some mistakes in the first deal. The price we got was correct. The way we approached the deal was absolutely fantastic. I mean, that was by the book. The actual renovation of the property, though, took 3 months too long.
What was the deal?
I'm too much of a perfectionist. You can't be a perfectionist and do a house flip. You have to be able to get the job done properly. But because I was such a perfectionist, I had to do custom work here, custom work there. And that's not required on a flip. You need to get in and out of it and then turn your money.
Right. Now, there are sectors of real estate that become hot and then go out of vogue and then get hot again. So Warren Buffett famously says, the way to get rich is to be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. So, Michael, let's stay with you. What should we be greedy about right now?
That's a good question because the market is in its shift right now. So because of that, it's hard to discern what's really going to be good 5 years from now and what's not going to be good 5 years from now. And the issue about investment is you're never looking for the overnight opportunity. You're looking for the term opportunity that fits your investment style and your risk attack.
Sure.
So right now, a lot of different things. I've heard a lot of chatter in the professional areas that say that office right now is really low. There's extensive office that's vacant. And there's a lot of stuff that needs to be said about that. But number one is the vacancy rate is really high. Number two is, though, that companies are starting to require their employees to stop working from home and come back into the office. So that's going to take a while for that transition to take place. However, we don't really know when it's going to start and what period it's going to be moving into. But what it will do, as the vacancy rate keeps climbing in office, is going to give a great opportunity for people to go out and buy office as a buy and invest for a longer period of time in order to recover the monies at the back end of it. Because there's going to be a lot of property coming on the market discounted.
Sure.
Going back to the bank.
Well, Leo, let's bring you in on this because you specialize in residential. People always have to have a place to live.
That's right.
So is real estate on the residential side fairly recession-proof if you're buying in the right area?
That's the thing, right? When you're buying, you can't get emotional. You need to know what you're looking for. Are you gonna go buy and hold? Are you gonna rent it out? Are you gonna Airbnb it, or what are you gonna do with it?
Sure.
If you're gonna just live there, then you gotta check all the schools, what's close by, how far away are the stores, and is it convenient enough for your lifestyle? If you know all these things beforehand, you don't get emotional in the buying, and you're not telling the seller, "Oh, I want this, I gotta have this." Then,
Sure. And you guys happen to live in Grayson County, one of the hottest real estate markets there is, because so many people are moving to Sherman-Denison. Right. You want to speak to that, Michael?
Yes, Sherman and Denison has really went after the electronics market people. So they've had an existing. Texas Instruments been there for quite some time, and now they've just announced within the past year that they're expanding by a $3 billion expansion on their facility there in Sherman. Along with that, another electronics company has announced that they're going to be building a plant there also. And right now, the employee rate in the next 5 years is going to be increased by about 7,000 people. When you calculate the peripheral employees that go along with those kind of things, you're looking at maybe 20,000 people coming into that area that's just not developed for that. So there's going to be a lot of development going on.
How long does it take you guys to look at a deal to decide, yes, let's move ahead, or this is a bad deal? Leo?
I have a spreadsheet now that I have to say I can, if it's a flip, I know we need to go at 65% of market value. But if we're gonna hold it for long term and we want it to be move-in ready, because we're done with flips.
Sure.
It's too much work.
I understand.
And so I have a spreadsheet that that I go by, and I'm not emotional about that kind of stuff. So it takes less than half a day.
Yes.
And I have to, on Google, you can drive the neighborhood without actually driving it, right? So you see what's around it, and if there's like old cars parked in the neighborhood on the streets, then you kind of want to see more. There's a lot of places where you can look at schools and look at what the population's like, right? So
let's talk about the value of working with a seasoned pro like you two, because people can take their entire nest egg and bet on the wrong property and then suddenly wake up and be broke. Michael, you want to speak to that?
I'd love to speak to that. The issue is that we get to see a lot of times is people get emotional about everything. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to their investment, then they say, okay, let's get excited. We got $100,000 or $50,000 sitting in our IRA. Now we can self-direct it. Now we can move it into places where we can actually start making some money with it. So now what's the best way to do that? Well, they're going to find some guru on Facebook or YouTube or something like that, and they're going to go take their course or do whatever it is. And I have to emphasize that these gurus make their money by selling their course. They don't make money by investing in real estate in most cases. So when you go out there to find these people, you have to be diligent in finding the people that have the experience in what they're about to go into. And it has to be specific. You can't go out there and say, I'm going to invest in real estate. There's a broad range of real estate. And if you try too many pieces at once, you're going to lose without having the experience in one of them. So pick what you're going to go into, whether it's fix and flips, you're going to buy homes for Airbnb rentals, or you're going to buy homes for long-term rental units as residual income. Pick that and make sure that you get an expert in that.
Sure.
And then you'll get better.
Well, we've got about 2 minutes left in this segment. So in the final 2 minutes, let's talk about why Texas is so unique. I mean, it's different than investing in properties in, say, Detroit. Texas famously has millions of people moving here.
Yeah.
We're the second largest state now behind California.
Just announced last month.
Right. So let's give you both about a minute to talk about why Texas is such a great place to put your money.
Well, I think Texas real estate is recession proof. There's always people moving in, like you said, and the rental market is always is pretty even. It's not like California where, it goes up and down and then there's always all these vacancies. And then Texas also has that community involvement where they're very friendly. Mm-hmm. And the children are so respectful. I was surprised when I first came last year and said, "Yes, ma'am." I'm like, whoa, did someone just say ma'am to me? So I think, and everybody is so, when I used to call on the phone, people just hang up on me. Mm-hmm. But here I finally got my courage to call and they're so friendly. Oh my gosh. Like they want to help.
I love that. Michael,
genuinely.
Final word.
Texas has really historically been a solid rock in aspects of business. And it doesn't matter what business it's in, whether it's shipping, oil, it doesn't really matter. It's such an eclectic business environment. One of the things that Texas has been held really strong in is their real estate, because even during the past 20 years or 25 years, and it's since longer than that, but counting the recession since 1989, their up and downs were never large. They were very moderate. So even in the worst of times, their negative and their positives would only be flexing maybe 8 to 9%, where other areas of the United States was flexing 40 to 45%. Wow. So that makes it a very stable economy. What I'm afraid about Texas is much like when I moved to California 45 years ago, California was much like Texas is today. So what I'm afraid of is that environment that created what we have now in that state of California might penetrate into Texas. So we're here kind of to stop that also.
Sure.
We want to make sure that the people have a good ground to sit on. It's really foundational.
And there's a lot of land in Texas.
Yes.
Awesome. That's a great way to end the segment. We're going to also end with the website, which is expcommercial.com. Thank you both for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.